to the Cinementalists. Noun, plural. Definition, those whose love for movies runs so deep, they can't help but do a podcast about them. Hosted by Colton Robertson and Joseph George. Hello everybody and welcome in to a very special episode of the Cinementalists. We begin a brand new month of May, and there's 5 Fridays in May. Those are always special months whenever we get 5 Fridays. We are going to spend it doing a top 100, a 10-part, 100-spot series. I cannot wait. Top 100 favorite actors ever. We're using the gender-neutral term, baby. Actresses is redundant. Let's get it. I am Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it is always a pleasure to have you. Top 100 favorite actors of all time. Holy shit, was this a nightmare. This was so difficult. This was so difficult to narrow down. And yeah, you think 100 actors, that's so many actors. It's not enough. It's just not enough. I have the initial list where I just kind of like went bam, 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 bam. Like I just listed a bunch of people to see how many people in the industry I love to watch. It got to like 342 names. You know what I'm saying? Like it was insane how many names I had on that list. And ultimately narrowing it down to 100. I've been tinkering for days with 90 through 150. You know what I'm saying? And then like deciding who I'm going to keep for the episodes at hand. How'd you feel crafting this list?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. This is a lot more difficult of a project than I once thought when setting it out. I'm like, I'll probably get to 50, 60, and then beyond then it'll be like, I like these people, but I don't have true love for them. And then it just kept going. It just kept going. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So
and you start to weigh, like for me, one of the important things with crafting this list was how much do I like movies with these people in it versus how much do I like these movies because this person's in it. You know what I'm saying? And kind of trying to find that line, decide, sometimes there's just such an abundance. Sometimes there's just so many movies with somebody and you like all of them that at a point you go, I just regard this person so highly. A good example of that one is Samuel L. Jackson, who will not be popping up in this episode, but will be popping up eventually.
Okay. I was going to say. I was like, what?
He will be popping up. It's just not week one. Or not day one, I should say, or episode one. I guess we're releasing 2 episodes a day. So this is the format. 10-part series, 2 episodes every Friday. Today we are going to be covering an unusually large amount of people. The only other time we will be doing this many people. Actually, I don't think we'll even be doing this many people when we get to the top 10. So we're doing 100 through 90 to make it a nice round, even number there. And then every episode after that is the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s. Then we get to the special episode, which is just basically the 10s, 19 through 11. And then the last episode will be the top 10. It's going to be a lot of fun. We officially have to lock it in. But before we do officially get in here, one thing that we are also going to do every week, give me 2 names that aren't on your top 100 that felt so difficult to not include.
And the first one, you might hate me, but it's a dagger to me too. The one who's at 101 that I could probably throw in, but it hurts so bad, is Michelle Yeoh. And so it's like a sin. It feels like a cardinal sin for...
That was me stabbing myself.
I know. So I feel like at least I'll just get that one out of the way.
That's good. That's good.
Right away.
It's good to know.
Rip the Band-Aid off. Is like... I felt like a lot of it was like, is it my own personal love or is it really just love for the I know my homie loves her so much. Is like I feel like that's why she was staying in there. And
and there's also an advantage here when I love someone so much that they'll eventually get their flowers. You kind of get the freedom to go, okay, yes, I like her a lot, but I know we'll talk about her. You know what I'm saying? So like, I took advantage of that at different points, to be sure. but that's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a really, really strong name to leave off the list. And I mean, there's a ton of them. There's no way to avoid it. Who are what's one more that you got?
And then, let's see, who do we say? I guess I'll maybe just keep going in order. And then past 100, they're not quite in order of,
me too.
importance. But next up, Ving Rhames. Kind of had the Mission Impossible crew kind of in there for a bit. And the others kind of still were in there, but he just kind of kept going down.
Ving Rhames was an unfortunate miss for me as well. I really wanted to include him because not just Mission Impossible, but he's really, really good in Bringing Out the Dead. He's really, really good in, Pulp Fiction. He's done a lot of really. I mean, he's great as the Arby's voice. He
Bubbles
has the meats
from Lilo and Stitch as well.
Yes,
Always forget about that.
Bubbles, Cobra Bubbles. Yeah, great role. I love Ving Rhames. Yeah, that was a difficult one for me to leave off as well. And speaking of the Mission Impossible crew, a name that I did leave off was Rebecca Ferguson, which was just a fucking nightmare to do. Because not only Mission Impossible, but Dune, Doctor Sleep, The Greatest Showman. She's done some incredible work, and it was super difficult for me to commit to that. But I did. And another younger person that I really wanted to include, but just again, the longer I've known you, the more likely you were to get on this list. You know what I'm saying? And if not, then I have to you have to have been one of my favorite performances in anything in order to get on the list if you're a younger person, Iowa Debris from the Bear is my favorite role of hers. So that's the other thing too, is that I leaned movie. Yes, what I'm saying? I leaned movie. So if my favorite thing of yours is television, I probably didn't include you. There is one major exception to the rule. And we obviously we'll both get there. Iowa Debris, my favorite thing she's ever done is The Bear. I am certain she's going to win an Oscar one day. Like, she's so young, she's so talented. If not win one, she will be nominated for one. She did great in The Bear. She does great in Bottoms. She's so fucking funny. Movie that came out last year, Luca Guadagnino's After the Hunt. It had Julia Roberts, Andrew Garfield, a couple names that will feature on this list eventually, probably. She's so fucking good. So Iowa Debris and Rebecca Ferguson, I'm going to kick it off with those two as my that sucks. Oh, that sucks. I hated doing that, but they're not on the list. So let's get into the top 100, and I'm gonna let you do the honors, my friend. You kick off the list. Who is the first name on your top 100? Your 100 spot. Your Ben Frank.
You said TV. It might not be as likely, but there's one TV show that kind of, for me, stands above the rest. Used to be Game of Thrones, no longer. David Lynch kind of took over. I had to. This is one that it kind of a grandfathered in. No matter what, she was going to stay right at 100. But I had to have Cheryl Lee in here somewhere. I had to have Laura, the Laura Palmer. And then, she was only Laura for me for a little bit. But then, she's the good, the random witch. The good witch that pops up in Wild at Heart. So there's technically more than one, role for her. But I had to have Cheryl Lee.
I'm really glad you included Cheryl Lee, because I did not. Even though Fire Walk with Me, and her bits in The Return, but most specifically Fire Walk with Me is one of the best performances I've ever seen. She's unbelievable in it. So I'm really, really glad you floated Cheryl Lee on the list, because she did not quite for me.
Yeah. And there's these kind of first I have some that I kind of like. When I thought of them, I'm like, oh, they're 40, they're 50, whatever. And then they were like, well, okay, I'm more so just kind of grandfathering them in. So like, it's crazy that Cheryl Lee just kept dropping whenever I just kind of went through the Peaks cast and everyone who I kind of
that's how I feel about my 100, dude. Just as far as like, I love this person. So the fact that in my top, and frankly, they're only here by sheer will of mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm neglecting a ton of incredible actors. And don't get me wrong, they're incredible. but I'm neglecting a ton of incredible actors, again, purely based on preference. There's very little, again, I want to emphasize top 100 favorite actors ever. You know, when it comes to names like Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, holy shit, are they incredible at what they do, but I've only seen them in a few things, and therefore they're not my favorite actors of all time. And doing that 100 times was insane, but I kept doing that. You know what I'm saying? So, your 100, Sheryl Lee. My 100, Katie O'Brien.
Yeah, nice.
I fucking love Katie O'Brien, and Love Lies Bleeding is obviously the go-to there. Absolutely unbelievable in Love Lies Bleeding. One of my favorite performances of the 20s so far. And was my favorite supporting performance of that year, and one of my favorites again of the decade so far. But I loved her little appearance in Mission Impossible 8. Her final reckoning kind of pop up is incredible. Her role in The Mandalorian is really good. I always kind of forget that she's in that, and then I look back and I'm like, she does have some of the stronger scenes in season 3. You know, that special episode that seemed like it was supposed to be a little, probably an episode of the New Republic show that never actually ended up happening. And then Twisters, she plays a real badass, just fun-loving hick, and it's super fun. I like Katie O'Brien a lot. So yeah, I'm kicking off the list with her at 100. And again, sheer force of will. Like, she kept dropping, and I was like, I'm not leaving her off. I refuse to leave her off. I can't do it. I won't do it. I'm not doing it. So Katie O'Brien at 100.
I don't know if it's ever popped up, but we do have a couple actors we go to that we say they have that girth, and I feel like she fits that bill pretty well. So I think the girth list has begun right away at 100, but
she got that girth.
But okay, 99. Moving on, kind of in similar fashion to Sheryl Lee. This was one that you made me realize, oh shit, I didn't think of this person. I didn't even, I don't think of them as an actor first, but I had to grandfather them in. It's fitting that she's right, or that he's right next to Sheryl Lee, because it's David Bowie. So another one that is kind of like, I just needed them in here. And even before Peaks, I loved this man. From The Prestige, he was Nikola Tesla, and that one role is honestly enough for me to like. I loved him in that, and I love him as an artist, just kind of in general as well.
It helps.
So yeah, that's.
But yeah, Philip Jeffries and Nikola Tesla. It's a pretty good 1-2 combo for you there.
All the same, the David Bowie universe, Tesla time travel. It kind of works. I feel like before. Or after, whichever came first, Philip Jeffries and Nikola Tesla. It kind of, I love the in canon universe I have of David Bowie in my head. But yeah, had to kind of get those two in here. I'd say my list officially begins really at 98. In a weird way, but I had to get these two in here.
I get that. Yeah. I love that. No, and David Bowie, great, underrated actor. Obviously not an underrated artist, but he was really, really good in front of the camera.
Yeah, he was.
So I love that choice.
Or as himself, I'm assuming. Or I saw that. It's been so long since I've seen
Labyrinth.
Zoolander,
that's another one of the big ones for him. The Linguini incident. It's a fun one that I watched recently.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's done some really interesting stuff, and we'll get to that. But at 99, I have a Best Actor winner, and not just a Best Actor winner, but the most recent Best Actor winner. 99 is where I have Michael B. Jordan. And if you ask me a year and a half ago if Michael B. Jordan is in my top 100 actors, I say probably not. And he's here on the back of Sinners. I've been on record many times on this podcast as not being a huge Michael B. Jordan guy. But Sinners really, really changed my opinion of him as a performer. It really altered the way that I looked at him as an actor. And looking at his body of work with Coogler specifically, it's undeniable. You look at Sinners, Black Panther, Creed, this dude's this dude's the shit in those Coogler roles. My other favorite Michael B. Jordan role is probably, I think it's his role in The Wire. He's like 13. And he's really fucking good in it. Like it's astonishing how good he is for how young he is. But yeah, Michael B. Jordan, had to include him. And I didn't feel like I had to include him very long ago, so I feel good about having him here now. So I got Michael B. Jordan at 99.
Yeah, he really was kind of, his engines were warming up, and then he hit centers, and then boosh, kind of took off, or kind of just made him become clear. But yeah, we'll get back around to him eventually later on. But here, the kind of, I guess, start of the real list. This is my and maybe this is actually offensive a little bit. I don't I don't think she is so new to the game, but I feel like she is finally launched into a different level, and I'm investing stock into this actor. I feel like they have a bright future, or at least I really hope they have a bright future, and it is Kaylee Spaney.
I like that.
Yeah, I think already pretty established, or I wouldn't call her established, but like like the earliest I have seen her is in Pacific Rim, which was like kind of a crazy,
Isn't it the second Pacific Rim movie that she's in?
Oh, is that right? Okay, because I was like, did I really see her in that? Was she the one like who was in the first one, the kind of one who Idris Elba took under his wing?
Yeah, Rinko Kikuchi.
Okay. So I was like, I didn't think that was Kaylee Spaney. Thank you for clearing that up. It is the second one. So okay,
Kaylee Spaney's in the second one, which I have not seen.
So even better. Okay, wow. So then it's Civil War would be the earliest that I've seen her. I still haven't seen Priscilla quite yet.
Like Romulus.
It's Civil War and Romulus are really the only
Wake
two.
Up Dead Man.
For me.
Did you ever watch Knives Out 3 yet?
Oh yes, she is. Okay, yeah. So I mean, yeah, man, everything she's been popping up in, I've just been like, I'm in love. Or I love every time she pops up. So yeah, I'm investing a lot of stock into her. I hope she grows and just keeps going. Because I mean, everything that she has popped up in, I have loved. And I don't know. A lot of it was kind of like the movie itself was really, really good. And I don't think I can say it's like it is purely because of Kaylee Spaney, but she was definitely a highlight in all of them. It was
absolutely.
She
agree
stuck
with
out.
That.
So
yeah, no, Kaylee Spaney's the shit. I don't have Kaylee Spaney, but Missouri represent. You love to see it. She's a Missourian, and we love those. She's super talented. My earliest Kaylee Spaney exposure was Priscilla. I remember seeing that in theaters and kind of being taken with her. Civil War, Romulus, Wake Up Dead Man, like you said. She's very consistently good. And I think she is going to be an absolute fucking star. I mean, whenever she lifts the fucking door up in Romulus with that gun strapped to her and she's got her arms like she's like fucking she's buff and she's a badass and you're like, let's fucking go. I love her. I love her. So Kaylee Spaney, really, really great pick. I'm also going with a young actress at 98. And again, just like, how are some of these people this low? But it is what it is. Really incredible young actress. New movie that just came out in theaters. Zendaya. 98's where I've got Zendaya. Yeah. I really, really enjoy Zendaya. And the drama most recently is one of her best roles. I rewatched Challengers the other night. Obviously one of her best roles. Euphoria is on right now again. She's, say what you will about the show, but the cast is never a problem. I absolutely adore her, and her role as Rue is, it's what kind of launched her into a different acclaim. Got her a couple Emmys, but it don't get better for me than her role as Chani in Dune 2. She is one of the best performances in an insane cast, and is probably my favorite character in a movie full of incredible characters. So I love me some Zendaya, and those four roles specifically, she is just incredible. And then obviously, Shake It Out. the Disney Channel series from when we were younger. That was a
Yeah.
big one for me. That was my first exposure to Zendaya
Wow,
back in
yeah.
the day. But
Man,
98
yeah.
Zendaya.
And Johnny kind of only with visions of getting even better, I'd say.
Yeah.
Next movie, I think it's gonna be real. I don't know the story, but I feel like she's got to be pretty pivotal.
Yeah.
And
Well,
there,
and that's
so.
what's interesting. We'll talk about Dune obviously pretty extensively come that season, because that's what we're doing here in December is the Dune movies in anticipation of part 3. They've already taken pretty big steps to separate Shawnee's story from the book. So I don't really know what we're getting into with Shawnee come part 3. But I'm excited for it regardless.
But okay, yeah, we'll return to Zendaya eventually, but not this week. But moving on here, kind of I think a very recent. These are kind of the most recent, or maybe recency bias took into effect here. But then I got to thinking, I'm like, no, this dude, he actually just is chill. I love him. And it was the recent edition was Hot Fuzz. This is Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
From the Mission Impossible crew. He's the guy in the chair, or I gotta love Benji. Benji was real awesome, and then he got his he got to step into the Tom Cruise role a bit in Hot Fuzz for me. But then like thinking back, I guess he is Unkar Plot. From Star Wars, let's see. There was one. Oh yes, I love this movie so much, and he has such a small role, but I love it. Ready Player One. He's the curator. He's the guy that flips the coin or gives him the 1-up coin, and I don't know. It's just a sweet moment at the end whenever he that kind of the kids know, or that they're in the know that he was the curator and they meet him. But yeah, no, I think Simon Pegg, he's just kind of like he just seems sweet. I don't know why, like everything, like as a real person, and I don't know anything about him, but like I just have a good feeling about Simon Pegg. I don't know why. At least that's what he brings to all of his movies. Like whenever I'm watching him, I just feel comfortable with Simon Pegg. So I love his roles, and I think I'm tracking him a little more and more, kind of after seeing Hot Fuzz and him kind of step into the limelight more. I got a better appreciation for him in Mission Impossible and all the other stuff. So yeah, I feel like where Ving Rhames was just right out, this is kind of it was like there's already the Mission Impossible crew right here. Simon Pegg in '97. It's like, ooh, yeah, it was a debate between of who to include there, but Simon Pegg got the win, I guess.
Got the nod. All right. But, I like to hear it. We're going pretty different actors at 97. This is, pretty universally regarded as one of the greatest actors to ever live. But I've only seen him in 4 things. Don't get me wrong. I liked all of those 4 things. I liked all of those 4 things a lot. 97 is where I've got Marlon Brando.
Okay. Yeah.
The Godfather, obviously. Apocalypse Now, another pretty obvious. On the Waterfront, another really, really good movie that I really enjoy. Or that I really enjoyed. I've only seen it once, and I enjoyed him in it a lot. And he's the reason I like the movie at all. And Superman as Jor-El. It's a pretty... It's a pretty great one, and I tend to forget that he had any role in that movie, but he is incredible as Jor-El. And there's a great Kristen Stewart interview. Love Kristen Stewart. She'll be said later. But she talks about Marlon Brando's role in Superman, and she talks about Marlon Brando. She's like really annoyed about Marlon Brando. Because he was method, and because you never hear. She's like, you never hear about women acting method. And she's like, she was like, he felt so full of himself. She's never seen Superman. She goes, I bet he said Krypton like Krypton. He said Krypton, didn't he? And she's like, and the interviewer's like, yeah, he actually did. And she goes, see, that's such bullshit, like, and she's so fired up because this guy couldn't surrender to it as much as, and like, which is funny because Marlon Brando is also and she also made a really great emphasis. She's like, he was an incredible actor. I don't mean anything disparaging about him. He was really, 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 really good at it. But so ever since then, I've always thought about that whenever I watch Superman, and I think it's super funny. But I do love Marlon Brando. I think he was really, really good. He was really special. His role as Vito Corleone is obviously just, that's one of the greatest performances of all time. And his Apocalypse Now performance is also incredible. So I love me some Marlon Brando. Got to get him in here. And he falls really close to the bottom of the list. And this is the beginning of a streak of names that's like, holy shit, they're in the 90s, huh? So yeah, Marlon Brando, 97.
Okay. I do not even have the man. And I do... I felt weird about not including him, but it's just... Yeah, I recognize his talent, but he's just not one of my favorite players. I was going to make an analogy to Michael Jordan, kind of where a similar fashion, where I recognize the game, but I just, I don't know, as a person and everything else.
He's TB12, he's Tom Brady. I don't.
Yeah.
Tom Brady, great quarterback. I don't fuck with the guy though. It's more. This spot is more just respecting the game. I'm like, you are undeniably good. So I had to take Brando.
But yeah, okay. Well, on to 96 here. This not too many roles that I've actually seen him in. Just one really, really good one, and then some tertiary ones that I guess sweeten it a little bit. But this is where I have Russell Crowe, the good old Maximus from Gladiator. I love Gladiator. It's as war movies go, if I gotta watch one, it feels right. Came out in 2000, when I was born. I am very entertained while watching, and then the second one to come out, it grows on me every time that it's getting better and better, even though he's not Russell Crowe not in there, but the idea of him is still in there. He's the legend, but in him
he looms large over the narrative.
And him is Zeus, and then like Thor. Love and Thunder. I think that's just I like that's hilarious that he get I do think he did kill it for only the
he does have he has a lot of
minutes
fun,
that he had Jor-El crazy my God, he's Jor-El in Man of Steel. Wow, that's crazy. We lined up in some way
there.
I guess not or one away, but
one after the next
chain reaction. But kind of a one that doesn't have too many. I think.
Let me remind you of a couple more that we have definitely watched and that you definitely liked. American Gangster.
Oh yeah.
The Insider.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah, The Insider specifically is fucking awesome. Yeah. That's a brilliant movie.
I do need to see A Beautiful Mind. I've heard. I feel like it seems like another. I don't know, kind of Good Will Hunting-esque.
It's got it's a Ron Howard movie. I remember I watched it in AP Psychology my senior year, Miss Bubelow's class. Miss Bubelow was the shit. I loved Miss Bubelo. But she showed us A Beautiful Mind, and it was an in-class movie. The only in-class movie to ever like fucking hook me was Interstellar.
Yeah.
Everything else was just kind of like, okay, sure, fine. We're watching a movie today. That means I can fall asleep if I want to.
Yeah.
But so great pull, Russell Crowe. Glad to hear him on your list. My next spot is one of the best character actors alive, I think. It's J.K. Simmons at 96. Love him in specifically Whiplash, his Oscar-winning turn in Whiplash. Absolutely incredible, but obviously I grew up on him as J. Jonah Jameson. The Spider-Man role was just a match made in heaven. There's literally nobody else alive who could do it as well as J.K. Simmons. A couple of his underrated ones, Palm Springs, It's a movie, a romantic comedy with Andy Samberg and Kristen Milioti as the leads. It's kind of a Groundhog Day premise. They're stuck in a time loop, and J.K. Simmons is stuck in the time loop with them and is the antagonist of the film. Super funny. Okay. Love him in that movie. He's incredible. And then my other one is Burn After Reading. Not a huge role in Burn After Reading, but he delivers one of the funniest fucking lines I've ever heard in my life. I'm not even going to say it because it's such an incredible payoff to the movie. But Burn After Reading, really great Coen Brothers movie, great cast, and he's a really small part. And the cast is crazy in the movie. John Malkovich, Tilda Swinton, George Clooney, Frances McDormand, Brad Pitt. I think those are the heavy hitters. I don't think I'm forgetting anybody. But Richard Jenkins and J.K. Simmons are also a part of it, and they're fucking great in it. So yeah, J.K. Simmons, had to get him involved. Got him at 96.
He's ripped, dude.
Dude's jacked.
Seen this, like, what? Why have I never seen this before?
Dude is fucking huge. There's an incredible Rick and Morty bit. Have you ever? There's the episode whenever they get stuck on that like train.
Okay, yeah.
The story train, and the tickets please guy rips his shirt off, and he's got what Morty refers to as cum gutters. And they're like, why is every old guy so fucking ripped? I think that bit kind of started because of J.K. Simmons. You see old ripped guys, and it's because J.K. Simmons is fucking huge.
Damn. Yeah, did he step into the Omni-Man role and just become, he's like, all right, have to actually...
Omni-Man, I forgot about that. I only ever watched The Boys Season 1, or not The Boys, Invincible Season 1. But
yeah, me too. Yeah, I only saw the first season, but yeah, it's he's... I did not expect that at all. I just hit him with the quick Google, and then boom, it was just one of the first pictures.
Is it the picture of him curling a barbell?
Yes, yeah. Yes. Like what like? Oh my God, he's 7. Like how old is he?
Not young. Yeah, not young.
Yeah, he's 71. Holy
fucking
shit.
Christ! No shot on this end, buddy. Not a chance in hell. I'm not doing that shit. Not even close. Yeah, okay. No, he's awesome though. Love me some J.K. Simmons. One of his more underrated roles, We Are Farmers. Dun ta dun ta dun ta dun. He's great in the Farmers Insurance commercials.
Okay. I was like, We Are Farmers. What is that movie? I was thinking of a movie titled We Are Farmers, and I'm like,
We Are Farmers.
Farmers.
Dun ta dun 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 dun. Yeah, he's great in those commercials. But so J.K. Simmons, 96.
Okay. All right. Well, on to 95. The cusp of the episode, I guess, or the hump. We are going with Idris Elba. Kind of mentioned him a little bit earlier in the episode in Pacific Rim of who took him under his wing, or there, and I was wrong on Kaylee Spaney. But yeah, not for Pacific Rim. I've always known him as Heimdall. And I love his, I don't know, the orange eyes, the soul. Like, I love that look of Idris Elba so much. But then, like, I actually prefer his DC role a lot more. Or, like, in Suicide Squad, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He's just a cooler character. We get to do more with him. And he's more, I don't know. He's higher above everything as Heimdall. He is cool, but I don't know. I think we just get to sit with him more in the DC world. But yeah, anytime Idris Elba pops up, I'm gonna be very excited to see whatever it is. And it's like kind of someone who, if I hear that they're in something, I'm going to want to sit down and see it. I guess Zootopia might be the most recent thing to come out. I think that's just out of my wheel. I haven't seen the first one, so the second one I'm not gonna sit in and see that. But
Idris
no.
Elba is a really, really great choice. I don't have him. And I think it might just be, it's almost an overexposure thing. He's in so much stuff that I've seen. And and some of it, I mean, he's in my least favorite movie of all time. Ghost Rider 2, Spirit of Vengeance. Which is hard to forgive, but I generally do because he's done a lot of other really great stuff. So I don't have Idris Elba, but I kind of regret that. This was one that I thought would be a little higher for you he was one of the ones that I kind of went, I'm sure Joe will have Idris Elba, so I don't think I really need to have Idris Elba. So I'm glad he made the cut. I didn't expect him to be in the 90s. His role in the in Alien Covenant, I believe, is the one. No, he's in Prometheus, I believe. He's in Prometheus, yeah. I love him in Prometheus. He's really, really good. The Wire, I brought that up for Michael B. Jordan. His role as Stringer Bell is one of the best TV roles ever. He is so fucking good in that. Another TV role that I go to for him is The Office. I am aware of the effect I have on women. It's an iconic line, and he delivers it iconically. Idris Elba, he's done a lot of really, really awesome shit. He's also done a lot of really middling shit, which I think I've seen a lot of it, and I end up kind of writing him off, but I don't think I should. He's really, really good. So Idris Elba, fucking great take at 95. Let's see. Yeah, I've got Jesus. This run is crazy that I've got in the 90s. Just like, and the fact that I end it with the two I ended on is even funnier. But 95, this is where I have Christian Bale.
Okay.
Again, 90s having Christian Bale this low is kind of wild, but it wasn't that wild when I really looked at what I'd seen him in. It's The Dark Knight and then like a couple other things. I have not watched a lot of Christian Bale stuff, and the Dark Knight trilogy obviously goes a very, very long way for me. I love Batman, and I love him as Batman. But a few of the others that I really enjoyed, obviously, The Prestige. I really, really enjoy him specifically in The Prestige also. But a movie that I don't love, that I really like him in, which I think is a really, really good metric also, is The Big Short.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of The Big Short. I think it's all right. I think it's solid. Again, really solid performances across the board. But he is one of the best in that movie, along with Steve Carell. And Christian Bale does just a brilliant job in that. And then an underrated movie that I like him a lot in is Velvet Goldmine. It's a 90s doing the 70s movie where they're kind of the rise of glam rock and getting into that culture and all that kind of stuff. And he's really, really awesome in that. But Christian Bale, 95, love him for the Batman. And then I haven't seen much else, but I've liked what I've seen. So Christian Bale, got him above Marlon Brando, so that's something. Christian Bale.
And we will return to him.
I figured.
Eventually. Yeah, so he'll be up there. Do love The Prestige a whole lot, and obviously Batman. But a one here, moving on to 94, a recent kind of, I don't think I would have ever he would have made the top 100 a little, like a couple years ago, but recently I viewed him a little differently. This is where I got Nick Cage, a starting out, with National Treasure. Love those movies, actually. I think it's what made me such a conspiracy nut. I grew up just obsessing over it, and I feel like it sparked something in the brain there. But yeah, we just brought up the worst movie of all time, or one of them. So he is the lead in that movie. He is. Which is crazy. But then
speaking of guys who have done a lot of really great shit and done a lot of really middling shit, Nick Cage might be the pinnacle of that description.
Yeah. and a guy that, I don't know why, I loved him in National Treasure, but then if he wasn't in that, I hated him for some reason. And it wasn't based on anything. It was just kind of man, I love that movie, but it felt like he was a joke. He was a joke of an actor just kind of most of the time. But then recently I'm watching. He had
a renaissance within the last 5 years that really kind of, there was a turnaround on the perception of Nick Cage. Because I agree, growing up, it was kind of insane to like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone always thought he overacted and he's ridiculous and everything, and he's never subtle. And then he took a few roles where he got pretty subtle. He did his thing, and you're like, oh, okay, hold the fucking phone. Nick Cage is, I really, really like Nick Cage. He's, I think one of the things that is the biggest credit to him as an actor is that everybody knows him and everybody has an opinion.
Yep.
That's one of the best things you can have as an actor, is that as an A-list actor, is that there's nobody who's like, yeah, he's fine. You know, there's nobody that's like, Nick Cage, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about Nick Cage. No, you either like him or you do not like him. And I think that's an awesome characteristic to have as an actor, where everybody knows you and everybody thinks something. Nobody has no opinion on you. And I love that for him. So yeah, Nick Cage, big one. That's the key difference between him and Idris Elba, I think, as far as that definition where I said, you know, he's either in a lot of really great stuff or he's in a lot of really bad stuff or middling stuff. There are absolutely people who don't have an opinion about Idris Elba, but that doesn't apply to Nick Cage. It's a great pull at 94. We're going with a couple of icons, or 93 for you, right? Oh, wait, no, 94. I had it right.
94. Yep.
Got a couple of icons at 94. This was difficult to put this low, but again, just a crazy list. 94 is where I have Robin Williams.
Okay, yeah.
I love Robin Williams. And this is probably the first spot in a few that is getting in based on how much I like them. You know what I'm saying? And a blend. Obviously, he was really talented. There's no question about that. But Christian Bale, Marlon Brando, even Michael B. Jordan to a degree, like these folks are getting on the basis of their talent and their kind of acclaim generally. And I like the movies there. And Robin Williams, I love him first, and he also happens to be a great actor. Good Will Hunting, Dead Poets Society, obviously. Those are the big two for me when it comes to Robin Williams roles. The scene when Matt Damon breaks down in his arms and is crying. It's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's so fucking, oh my God, ridiculous. Aladdin.
Yeah.
The Genie.
True.
Let's fucking go. That's one of his more iconic roles. One of his more underrated roles, and an underrated movie generally that I absolutely adore, is The Birdcage. Him, Nathan Lane, Gene Hackman. It's absolute Hank Azaria. It's 100% one of the funniest things I've ever watched in my life. And it's so fucking sweet and moving and meaningful. I love it. The Birdcage, with Robin Williams. Robin Williams, one of the greats. I absolutely loved him. 94.
Yeah. Robots, Fender. I didn't know he was in AI, the Kubrick, then Spielberg. He was Dr. No. The little AI, basically their AI bot. Back in the day. That's crazy. I didn't know he was Dr. No. But a weird Nick Cage connection. Not truly, but like a National Treasure feels so close to Night at the Museum, and he's Teddy Roosevelt in Night at the Museum. So yeah, weird. I like to as many chain connections as we can make, or try to do that. I like.
Oh, it's always fun. It's always fun.
But yeah,
Jumanji. I mean, of course, that was Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a big Hook. He's Peter Pan.
Damn.
You know, that's
Flubber. Oh, Flubber. That's a man. I haven't seen that movie in over a decade for sure. I think I was under the age of 10 for like the last time I saw Flubber. But yeah, no, he's a little higher up, and I was like going back. This is just I need to get it out, so it's just out in the air. Like, I knew I loved him, but I didn't know how much the real life story was like keeping him up, and and then like, but every time, like just the way he dies, is just so tragic, and just he's such a loving person, and it's why he was so happy all the time. He didn't want to make anyone else, but like, so I didn't know how much that was like raising him up, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's kind of like the point of this list, or like that does matter.
Yeah.
Like the real life part of him does matter, but then it does help that like every time he's in a movie, it is also very, very sweet. Or like he is.
Oh yeah, you love seeing him. He's always.
Is he ever a bad guy? I'm trying to like. Has he like ever played someone who like that you don't like in the movie? Because I can't think of.
Sure. I mean, not off the top of my head. I don't think I've seen him in a movie that. But like, he was too talented to have not at some point played a heel. You know what I'm saying? Like, he feels inevitably like he had to have played a proximity, the proximity of a bad guy. You know. Anyway, I really love him. He's got a small role in Tu Wong Fu, which I absolutely adore. Not a huge role, but I mean, very, very small role. But he's super good in that. I always loved to see Robin Williams. So
yeah,
I had to put him in here. 94.
I like it, and we will return to him eventually. But pushing forth onto 93, we have another Missourian. I'm pretty certain. I think very much close to home. KC Mo. This is where I have Paul Rudd. And you know, initially he was just Ant-Man, and he's just, I think he's just one of like actors that I actually do find funny. Sometimes it's not all the time, but like I think his comedy is actually just very good. He's very, very good at comedy, and like Ant-Man, I think is very underrated as the MCU goes. And it's like that first movie actually is like I love that movie so much, and I think he actually does kill that role. And then like even with the later on movies, like when I don't know he blips or his daughter's going, like whenever he has to, I don't know, deal with all of that, it feels genuine. Like and so like he's funny, he has the chops as well, you know, like Anchorman. I'm trying to think, you know, of just roles that he just gets to go. So yeah.
I left Paul Rudd off the list, but I mentioned earlier that the list I have in my Letterboxd, it's like 160 people. He's on it.
Yeah.
I've got him at 130. Again, I don't have this ordered, but like just to give you an idea of how front of mind he was, I thought about putting him on here. And Ant-Man is listed, but dude, his comedy chops are really, really just unbelievable. I loved him in Anchorman. I Love You Man is one of the most underrated comedy movies ever. I think that movie is so fucking funny. Friendship from last year with Tim Robinson and him is so cringe funny. It's ridiculous. Wet Hot American Summer, hilarious. Okay. Paul Rudd, I mean, his role in Parks and Rec and his little, just the stuff that he's been willing to do over the years and the stuff you see him pop up in, he is so good. So I love that pick.
Yeah, had to get him
Paul
in.
Rudd.
So it kind of, falling like I don't know. You asked me 5 years ago, or whenever I'm in the full peak of my MCU game, he's like, no way he's in the 90s, you know. But like,
right,
it's just there's just so many more actors out there. But yeah, Paul
Second
Rudd.
Rick and Morty reference of the episode. There will be more. No, I'm just kidding. 93. I'm going with another comedy, a tried and true comedy legend following Robin Williams, with Jim Carrey.
Okay.
I really, really love Jim Carrey. I have not seen what is perhaps his most popular role, which is in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, yeah.
I've never watched that. And that's, I mean, his most popular, it's not just comedy. It's that and The Truman Show, which obviously I've seen.
Yeah,
I love him in The Truman Show, but you know, it is Dumb and Dumber, The Mask, Ace Ventura, all that good stuff that really, really elevated him to the status he has. And he's hilarious, man. He was so funny, and he is incredibly sharp and smart and creative. And he can just perform, man. He is so funny. And so talented. I love me some Jim Carrey. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I reference that pretty regularly, you know, and it's Jim Carrey. It's just Jim Carrey. I love him.
He's really an actor's actor. Like he feels, and not in a bad way, but like he was a theater kid. You know, I don't think he was afraid of letting go, or he could just perform. And yeah, I got him a little later on, in here. But yeah, he's I don't know, a weird, interesting in real life. Is he even real anymore? I don't know what's going on with him, but yeah. But as far as
it's so
all his
fucking
roles go.
funny that he retired from acting except for the Sonic movies. Like the fact that he's making an exception for the Sonic movies is so hilarious.
Yeah, he did. Like, I haven't seen any of them, but like I just know and I don't know the character, and whatever the evil guy, just the weird mustache he's got going, or like what a thing to keep it going with. But
hilarious that's his go-to.
But wow. But yeah, we'll return to Jim Carrey eventually. But in the meantime, this kind of one. It would have felt nice, I guess, if I put him next to Nick Cage here. Kind of another guy who loves the dramatic. He loves to be dramatic as he can. But I do think it works sometimes, but sometimes it is overdone. But I've never been too oversaturated by it. This is where I have Adrian Brody here.
Yeah.
So and yeah, I think there's even like a commercial recently that I saw that played into this. That
it's a TurboTax commercial.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I completely forgot what they were advertising, but I just remember him crying or him just being over dramatic on purpose. But yeah, like Adrian Brody, just I think the earliest exposure I think was King Kong. And
probably.
Yeah, I think would have been all the way back there. But coming up in Grand Budapest and then Asteroid Cities, I hope he's a Wes regular from here on out. I think
it goes back
French
to the Darjeeling Limited.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay. He is a Wes regular.
Oh, absolutely.
Already tried and true. So yeah, never mind. But I guess more. I hope he stays and everything that Wes is planning on in the future. Yeah. I haven't seen The Brutalist quite yet. I do need to get to that, but he's on here without
him
that.
Another Best Actor win, which was well deserved. He was really, really good in it. Yeah, I don't have Adrian Brody. And another one that I was kind of making the assumption you'd have. But yeah, it's really one thing that I neglected as a Wes Anderson fan is that if my favorite roles of yours are all Wes Anderson canon, I probably didn't include you. Okay. And there are exceptions to that. But I really like him in The Brutalist. I think he's really, really good. He's solid in King Kong. I haven't watched a lot of Adrian Brody stuff that isn't Wes Anderson. So I had a tough time committing to him. And the Darjeeling Limited specifically is enough to probably get him on this list because, when he is in the Grand Budapest and he is the French Dispatch and he is Asteroid City, he's still hitting those emotional beats really, really hard, specifically in Asteroid City. But they are more the Wes performances that you've come to expect of people performing in a Wes Anderson movie. Darjeeling Limited, he has a lot more, it seems like a lot more freedom as an actor. So yeah, I mean, he's incredible. I don't want to sell him short. I love Adrian Brody as an actor. But you compared him to Nick Cage in the overacting sort of thing. He plays the villain in one of the seasons of the Peaky Blinders. A later season of the Peaky Blinders. And he plays an Italian mob boss. Yeah. And he is doing he's doing a Vito Corleone impression. Like he's this is why you come to me, He's got a really deep voice and he's always doing the fucking thing. It's way over the top and it works, but it is so over the top it's hilarious. So yeah, again, he does a little bit of that overacting, and sometimes it works really well, and sometimes he knows exactly how to tone it down. But yeah, I really enjoy Adrian Brody, and I'm glad you included him because it was one of those ones where I was like, I could include him, but I think Joe will have him.
Yeah, and I did. I felt compelled to do it, and crazy. I didn't think of Darjeeling right off the top of the head, but I think it was.
That's my favorite Adrian Brody.
Yeah, oh man, out of the West movies.
All those guys, Adrian Brody,
Darjeeling.
Owen Wilson, and Jason Schwartzman. It's probably Darjeeling Limited's my favorite for all of them. Like,
true. Wow.
That might be Wes Anderson's best performed movie. It's genuinely it's so good. So I love that choice. I love Adrian Brody.
Yeah.
We will not get back around to him, but I'm glad you included him. So 92.
Yes.
I've got a legend here.
Okay.
And he recently passed away, and I'm trying not to convince myself that played any factor into it, but Robert Duvall, who you'll know from The Godfather and Apocalypse Now again. Tom Hagen, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Let's do some surfing. Fucking love Robert Duvall. Days of Thunder. He was THX 1138 in THX 1138, George Lucas's debut feature film. He's just an incredible actor, and he did so much incredible stuff over the years. And I will always really, really appreciate his role as Tom Hagen specifically. That was an unbelievably underrated performance and character in a cast that he was always going to be third fiddle in. If it's Al Pacino and Marlon Brando, then it's Robert Duvall. If it's Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, then it's Robert Duvall. You know what I'm saying? But he always was there, and he was always so fucking good. Love me some Robert Duvall. So I had to get him in here at 92.
All right. Well, these, I guess, last two here, kind of a pair of sorts, but didn't mean for it, but just kind of worked out that way. But 91, I don't know if it legendary status. I don't know, but at least I'd say for me, he's up there with I love this guy. He feels like at the top of the game, but Jeff Goldblum. Is where I have it at 91. Earliest would have been Jurassic Park, likely, but then with the recent edition of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, liked him, seeing him younger there. That was really cool. And then he's the whatever on Thor Ragnarok, or the leader of that
the
planet. Like where he kind of like another Russell Crowe, where he just gets to have some fun in an MCU role.
Jeff Goldblum has almost become an entity unto himself,
Yeah.
Like he used to do a lot of really, really good acting, and now he plays Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Because he's got such an absurd personality and persona to begin with, that he plays the Wizard of Oz in Wicked.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just being Jeff Goldblum. You know what I'm saying? He's just, we're gonna,
yes,
and he's just being Jeff Goldblum, but he is the Wizard of Oz, which is super fitting. It's actually a really incredible role for him to fill, because it just feels right. But I love Jeff Goldblum. I do. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You went to Jurassic Park. Obviously, Dr. Ian Malcolm is always front of mind. Love that for him. The Fly, really, really great David Cronenberg movie, and he gets to play grotesque in that, which is fun. It gets a little body horror going, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Jeff Goldblum, the shit, man.
And I think whenever you have an impression that can be made of you, I think that goes to, you have some iconicism there that just a lot of people don't have. And like a Jeff Goldblum, it's not quite like a Morgan Freeman impression, or that voice, but he's like almost there. I'd say his voice is like, it's almost just as iconic, but yeah, had to have him in here. So he landed in 91.
My 91 is Michael Cera.
Okay.
Following Robert Duvall and Jim Carrey and Robin Williams and Christian Bale and J.K. Simmons and Marlon Brando, Michael Cera is above all of them. I just really, really love him. I do. I think that I said a little bit ago, if all I can go to for you is Wes Anderson movies, then I probably didn't go with you. But if I can go with one really specific Wes Anderson movie and one very specific performance that you did in that, it's going to be good. And his role in the Phoenician Scheme is genuinely great. I love the work he did there. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. He's awesome as Scott Pilgrim. Super bad, obviously iconic, but I got to mention the return baby is Wally Brando. We loved Wally Brando.
Yes, the better Marlon Brando.
Yes, where he is just doing an impression of Marlon Brando in The Wild Ones. It's a really great turn for him. I love Michael Cera, and I've always found him incredibly. I mean, Barbie, he's incredible in Barbie. Yeah. Juno, he's great in Juno. He's done a lot of his role in This Is the End is fucking hilarious. I've always really enjoyed Michael Cera from a young age, and I've not grown tired of him yet. So had to have him 91.
Okay, well, I guess topping off the episode here felt fitting. The pair I'm alluding to comes from Jurassic Park, I guess, is their link. Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern is the queen, I guess, of this episode. With other than Jurassic Park, we got Blue Velvet. So like anything, yeah. If you're in a Lynch movie, and you're Diane, I guess as well, eventually, and which is if you're in that world, it does help you as an actor 100%. And it's
Lynch is like if you're in the Lynch movies, I like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, Laura Dern, man. We will definitely be getting back around to Laura Dern.
Okay, so oh yeah, hello, Holdo maneuver. I gotta think. I literally had a conversation about the Holdo maneuver like a couple weeks ago, and someone was like, it's just not possible in the Star Wars. They're in a hyperspace lane. Blah blah blah.
My
and
retort
I'm just like,
to that. Eat my dick. Yeah, I don't care. It was fucking awesome.
That was what I literally said. I didn't say eat my dick, but I said, but wasn't it incredible? I do think it still actually makes sense. We broke it down and it was, before they entered a hyperspace lane, they were entering it and boom, right through whatever.
Dude, and here's the thing, regardless of if it makes sense, you are watching a movie.
Yeah.
When a movie does something cool, in Star Wars, by the way, it's Star Wars.
We're in another galaxy.
It's not like
we're in space fantasy world.
And don't get me wrong, I love the Star Wars movies. I love the Star Wars. What the fuck do they adhere to real life physics for? You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter, dude. If we could just do that every time. Nah, fuck it. We did it this one time and it was awesome. Okay, and it was incredible. I love Laura Dern, and she is really, really great as Holdo. Ryan Johnson has a tendency to get a lot out of performers, and so did J.J. Abrams, to be fair, but he just never had Laura Dern to deal with, or to work with.
Top theater moment as well. Like as I vividly remember how silent the theater was, and then you just heard. You heard the gasp whenever it happened, and oh man, you could hear a pin drop in the room, and it's giving me goosebumps even thinking about it. But yeah, it's like, this isn't why, Laura Dern is on here for the Holdo maneuver, but no,
it's a big one.
Yeah,
and we will get back around to Laura Dern, so we can afford ourselves a little opportunity to talk about the Holdo maneuver. All right. Laura Dern at 90 to top off the episode. I'm going to top off the episode with a younger guy. You mentioned Russell Crowe earlier. I'm going with his son in Gladiator, Paul Mescal. Yeah. Not actually Russell Crowe's
real life
son.
I'm like, huh?
Russell Crowe's son in Gladiator 2, Paul Mescal. No, I do not have Gladiator 2 listed as one of my favorite roles of his, even though he is quite good in it. My favorite role of his is always going to be After Sun. I literally don't think there's a thing he could do the rest of his career that's going to be as good as After Sun.
Okay.
It's unbelievably sad. Like the the portrayal of his sorrow in that movie and his numbed pain, unbelievable. Like, there's not a lot better than it. All of Us Strangers, holy shit. That is unbelievably good. And that's the thing, is that Paul Mescal is firing at an insane hit rate right now. You know what I'm saying? There are exceptions to the rule. Gladiator 2, which I enjoy, but it's not great. You know, it's not a fantastic movie. He was in Foe with Saoirse Ronan, and I never saw that, but it came out to pretty lukewarm reception. But the stuff he's in, he is elevating, you know. And one of my favorite roles of his where I don't think that's the case is Hamnet. I think he's getting acted circles around in Hamnet, and he's still so fucking good in Hamnet. Like, it's just that good of a movie performance-wise. And the other one I have is The History of Sound, which came out last year. It's him starring opposite Josh O'Connor in a queer story about music and songwriting, and it's really, really good. So The History of Sound, but most importantly, After Sun and All of Us Strangers. Paul Mescal, dude, he rocks. He rocks. Absolutely love him. So that's the episode. That's 90 through 100. Timed pretty well. I didn't know that we would get to an hour or what we were going to be looking at, but I like the hour long episode. Every episode after this, you could probably expect to be a little shorter too, which is nice and convenient. But if you want to go ahead and rock me 90 through 100 on your list real quick, go ahead and hit it for me.
All right. 90, I had Laura Dern. 91, Jeff Goldblum. 92, Adrian Brody. 93, Paul Rudd. 94, Nicolas Cage. 95, Idris Elba. 96, Russell Crowe. 97, Simon Pegg. 98, Kaylee Spaney. 99, David Bowie. And 100, Cheryl Lee.
All right. I had 90, Paul Mescal. 91, Michael Cera. 92, Robert Duvall. 93, Jim Carrey. 94, Robin Williams. 95, Christian Bale. 96, J.K. Simmons. 97, Marlon Brando. 98, Zendaya. 99, Michael B. Jordan. And 100, Katie O'Brien. And with that, we will conclude this episode of The Cinementalists. Go ahead and head over to part 2, 80 through 89, available now, wherever you are listening to this. Leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening. Check out our backlog of incredible episodes. I don't mean to toot our own horn, but we are very, very, we're having a great time doing it, and I feel like we're pretty good at it. We just covered Silence last week. You mentioned that you could hear a pin drop moment in The Last Jedi with the Holdo maneuver when you're in the theater. And we talked about something that I wanted to mention on that episode in Silence, but I forgot about, and I'm glad you brought up the Holdo maneuver because now I can bring it up, which sounds crazy out of context. But we mentioned like moments where people talk about feeling God. Whenever a full theater is completely silent, that's the shit right there. The Holdo maneuver is one of them. The 10-second silence between the nuclear bomb exploding and then actually making a noise in Oppenheimer. That's another one. Thinking about like just full theaters where you're like,
ooh.
You just hear the stillness in the air. Oh my God, it's the shit. The most recent one I had was at my second viewing of Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
There was it's whenever he gets knocked out, and he's like reaching, and he there's silence and there's flashing lights and there's no sound going on besides like this little faint noise coming from Rocky in the movie, and you're like, you couldn't hear anything else. It was so fucking beautiful. I love whenever that happens in a movie theater. And the Holdo maneuver is obviously a pretty massive one. But so we covered Silence last week. That's what I wanted to plug. We covered a lot of really great movies in April, and we've covered a lot of great movies this year. And we'll get back to covering really great movies next month. But this month is obviously concerned with the top 100 actors ever. So go ahead and stick with us. You shan't be disappointed. You can disagree if you want. It's pointless. They're our favorites, so it's all subjective anyway. But it's a lot of fun. So stick with us. You should enjoy it. You should try to enjoy it. And if you don't want to enjoy it, hit me up. We can talk about it. I don't care. I think with that we can conclude this episode of the Cinementalists. We are also doing Geek with Me. Not super proactive about it right now, but I know that next week Daredevil Born Again and Maul Shadow Lord will conclude, which inevitably means we will discuss them at some point, probably within the next couple weeks. Looking very forward to that, especially since in June House of the Dragon Season 3 kicks off, which we will actually be covering. It'll be summertime for Joe. I'll be readily available. We will be able to cover House of the Dragon week by week, and I'm very, very excited for that. So that I said we'd do that for Maul. Things change, whatever. We will do it for House of the Dragon. We've never not done it for Game of Thrones. Even when we did Dunk and Egg, we managed to do it every week, or close to it anyway. But we love Game of Thrones, so got that to look forward to on Geek with Me. We mentioned Twin Peaks. We did Fire Pod with Me, a Twin Peaks podcast for the first-time viewer and the rewatcher alike. Joe watched it for the first time. I was rewatching it for like the fourth time, and we had a fantastic time doing it. If you've never watched Twin Peaks, you should check it out, and then if you like it, we have a podcast for you. And if you have seen Twin Peaks, go ahead and check out the podcast. You'll hear how much I tease Joe and allude to stuff that he has no idea what I'm alluding to. It's a great time. But yeah, with that, we'll be back next week, and you can just head to the next episode. Parts 3 and 4 will be next Friday. 5 and 6 the week after that, 7 and 8 the week after that, and the last two parts in the last Friday of May. But so over the next couple weeks, we're gonna get all the way up to spot 60. So you better check those out over the next couple weeks. Obviously, the other part available 80 through 89. Check it out. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, go watch a Laura Dern movie. For fuck's sake, do it. You can't go wrong.